Blu-ray stacking up, yeah, the collection grows. Singing like nobody's watching, let the good times flow. Movies on repeat, yeah, he living that life. Great guy, big heart, yeah, he doing it right. Screen light glowing while the speakers bang. Sammy G vibing to the scenes and the frames. Love for the art, yeah, the passion stay true. From the first press play to the end credits roll.
Hello all, welcome back to another video, and welcome to Sammy G's World of Cinema. Today on the channel, guys, is going to be part 2 of my March 2026 watches. All the movies I have watched for the remainder of March, and God, this has been a banging month. This has for first time watches, but yeah, there's been some great revisits as well. I think there's been more first time watches here, but there's been some great revisits as well. It's good to kind of go through memory lane on my movie diary and just revisit a film, revisiting a film that I really love, and just to kind of refresh my memory on something. It's just a great blend of revisits, and it's a great way to kind of look back on your revisits of these monthly watches, and just a great way for me to kind of showcase my first time watches, and whether that's cinema trips or watching films in the comfort of my own home. Yeah, so anyways, guys, grab yourself a cuppa, and the first movie to talk about in this video is gonna be a first time watch, and I've got to give a massive thank you to Ollie, actually, for putting me onto this movie. We were talking about the director, Lasse Hallström, and Ollie said, Sam, if you've not seen this film, you're going to like this. And Ollie was right. Yeah, he was exactly right. I bit the bullet, bought the Blu-ray for just under £10, but I was pretty sure I was going to end up really liking this movie, and I did. And that is The Cider House Rules. This was fantastic. I thought this was such a beautiful movie, really good. Like, Tobey Maguire, who I always just marked down as kind of Peter Parker, and that's all we're really getting from Tobey Maguire in terms of most memorable roles. But no, I think over time, really grown a real appreciation for Tobey as the years have gone on. Michael Caine, God bless you, sir, as Alan at Kermit's Ghost would say. Sir Michael Caine was fantastic in this film. I loved his character as this main doctor, and him just running this orphanage. Young kids have got somewhere to go, and they're friends with one another. Out of the blue one day, Tobey Maguire is adopted by this couple. I'm pretty sure, is it Charlize Theron and Paul Rudd, I think it is. And you see that he'll spends time away from this orphanage, and then Sir Michael Caine's character really misses him, but also discovers new truth that comes to light that he never knew about Tobey Maguire. Great to see again. You've got some of the MCU actors, come to think of it. You've got Spider-Man, Ant-Man, and obviously J.K. Simmons, who played the guy obviously in the Spider-Man trilogy at the at the New York Bruegel, is it? Jonah, I can't remember his name. But anyways, quite ironic to see J.K. Simmons and Tobey Maguire both in that kind of, the kind of in one scene of the movie. And this was 3 years before, obviously, the kickstart, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy. So that was good. Would have liked to see more of J.K. Simmons, admittedly, but yeah, it's just a beautiful movie. We see characters that come and go into this. There's a lot of really great messages behind this as well. So yeah, and that again, that scenery, which is this field, and And like, again, this harvesting, love the scenes between Tobey Maguire and Charlize Theron as well. I think it is Charlize Theron. But yep, the Side of House Rules was fantastic. Thank you, Ollie. You did good here, bud. And great that it's set around all 4 seasons as well. I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. Brokeback Mountain. Yeah, first time watching Brokeback Mountain in like 7 years. And I saw Jodie put this film in her top 10 films of the century. And I was thinking, yeah, do you know what? This is a movie I haven't seen for a number of years. It's one I would like to go back to after a certain period of time. And this is fantastic. This is really good. Really heartbreaking as well. When you get to one character's departure in the movie. And it's just fantastic. It's like, I think it was like the first LGBT film that, I think it was one of the first LGBT films that was going up for like Oscars at the time. Like, apparently, infamously, it was known for infamous defeats, that in the sense that it should have won Best Picture opposed to Crash that won Best Picture, and that caused a lot of controversy. I've not seen Crash, but I picked it up on Blu-ray recently to kind of just see what the fuss is with that film. But I'm going to be shocked if it could top how good this film is and why it won Best Picture instead of this, because, again, a wonderful, beautiful movie following, again, 2 cowboys that are doing like this like kind of this like mountainside work in like 1963 by Brokeback Mountain. They spend like the summer there, and you see them as like unlikely friends, and then they kind of blossom a relationship along the way. And then and then this film has a few time jumps where it's set like years apart, like 4 years apart, and then another year like apart, and there's a few time jumps here and there, and then you know that how that experience was for Heath Ledger and Jake Gyllenhaal in this film, and when Heath Ledger meets the love of his life, and when Jake Gyllenhaal meets the love of his life is Michelle Williams and Anne Hathaway, I should say. You see how they're still loving life, but yet there's something missing, and they're still reflecting on that previous experience that Heath Ledger and Jake Gyllenhaal both had once upon a time ago. And yeah, and then you see them reunite, and you see where that leads to. It's just a fantastic film, brilliantly directed by Anne Lee, and a very bittersweet ending, beautiful music in there as well, great cinematography. And I love the scenes where they're trying to like organise like the sheep and stuff. Brokeback Mountain, I'm going to give an 8.5 out of 10 there. I did talk about this one in the Unwatched Shelf series, so I'll be quite brief on this one, but I did watch for the first time Everybody Wants Some. Yeah, and I think everybody would want some of this. I reckon this was great, really good film that, even though it's set in 1980, it does carry that 70s aesthetic. It's kind of still very much got the sort of like the 70s presence about it that's slowly emerging into the 80s. A great set of characters that are all there for like, I think, is it I'm trying to think, was it cricket, was it or like I think it was cricket, and what that they apply for in like this college, and they share an accommodation together, but they enjoy the summer together. They meet a lot of beautiful ladies in there. Great soundtrack as well. The soundtrack is goats in this as well, folks. Feel good movie. Would make a great double bill with something like Fast Times at Ridgemount High, or Licorice Pizza, or something like Dazed and Confused. Really just, this is Richard Linklater's name stamp all over it, and he does a marvellous job with directing this film. 8.5 out of 10. I loved this movie, loved it so much. I went to the Market Pavilion in Blythe to go and see Peaky Blinders, The Immortal Man. Yet, I'm sure like many of you guys, I'm also a big fan of the TV show Peaky Blinders. And yeah, it's just a really great show. I think it's one of the best British TV shows ever put to screen, in my opinion. And it was just great to have a new Peaky Blinders product after like 4 years since the TV show ended. Again, great to reflect on and interesting to learn where Tommy Shelby has been hiding all those years. And again, he's still reflecting on the events of what happened later on into season 6. And this is set around the Second World War. You learn that his son is all grown up, played by Barry Keoghan. He's been in trouble with this firm, this gang that's again set around the Second World War. He treads on like thin ice, and yeah, he's got to very tread carefully what he does next. And that's when you see Tommy Shelby come into the picture here. And again, Cillian Murphy just does such a badass job as ever. Great to see Stephen Graham come into this as well, because yeah, this film I think does, like, Birmingham obviously takes place in Birmingham, but I think there's a segment that takes place in Liverpool, just like in the final season of Peaky Blinders. Loved the scenes in the pub as well, that pub. And again, I think it's Barry Keoghan walks into the pub, and then it's kind of like all the attention is drawn to him. You see how things start to unravel and shit hits the fan there. Immense scene like around this, like that. I think it's like this backyard where like there's these pigs as well, and nothing bad happens to like any of the pigs, thank God. But yeah, there's one character to the next that's just rivaling off each other. Great to see Tim Roth in this as well, and yeah, it is a really very solid watch. There was some boring moments that did teeter on a little bit as well. I think just midway through the film, where I think it was just Tommy Shelby, that lady in there. There was scenes that did drag here and there, but there was enough there to carry its weight. It's not going to have a lot of rewatchability for me, but for what it is, it's a good sort of like wrap up and round up for this TV show with this new film here. And great production, great acting. Some of the dialogue is the dog's bollocks. It really is very, like crisp dialogue in there. So yeah, The Immortal Man, I'm going to give a 7 out of 10 there. And then I had a first time watch of Mona Lisa Smile, the Blu-ray, very kindly sent by Tim. Thank you so much, Tim. I'm going to send the DVD to Tim. I'm very happy to report that I did really enjoy this film. This is just, yeah, a really good kind of like biopic of, this teacher, this arts and history teacher, where she tries new methods to keep like her classroom engaged, but there's some of the students that really kind of learning kind of the real facts there, and they kind of question her theories there. The head teacher does, and everyone involved in that department. Really well acted with Julia Roberts. Very interesting side story with Kirsten Dunst, and you see like her, I said school, I think it is college, come to think of it, set in the 1950s. Apologies, I meant to say college there. But yeah, it's set in like this college where like these group of students are learning art and history there, led by Julia Roberts, and you learn about her marriage, and her relationship is on a little bit of a decline there, and how she wants to be with this other guy. You get a really interesting side story with them, set around the wintry time of year. Again, this film does take place on all 4 seasons. A great scene where there's like this dance ballroom that happens as well. Interesting side story with Kirsten Dunst in there, Maggie Gyllenhaal as well, and Julia Stiles. Julia Stiles played a really good part in this as well. So, great 50s aesthetic to this one, and a good movie, movie. And I did like the end credits where you've got the real life footage and pictures of like this main college teacher as well. So Mona Lisa Smile, I'm going to give a 7 out of 10 there. I had a rewatch of one of my favourite films ever. I really think this is now in my top 100 of all time. I think if this film is if there's a film out there that's gonna rival 2001 in terms of like a sci-fi space drama, sci-fi, science fiction, like space opera, I think this is the one that would rival it for me, and that is Tarkovsky's Solaris. I've done a review of this, so I'll be quite quick on this one, but yeah, phenomenal film. I do want to do an Andrei Tarkovsky filmography ranking video for the channel someday. I kid you not, guys, this would probably be right up there with like Champions League territory here. This is just truly fantastic. It's a film that I went from really liking to loving to now it's become one of my favourite films ever. Just the character work with like a small cast and what they're given with the kind of the scripts, the dialogue. It's just, it makes for like just a joyous watch, like a joyous experience with this film where this space mission is just led brilliantly by Chris Kelvin. You know, we learn about his past experience with his wife, and you see that makes a bigger impression as the film goes on, and he starts to have illusions there, and he thinks is it all in his head. There's scientific theories just brought to his attention by two of his colleagues in space, and you see how this film just, it goes through so many different phases. The visionary side of it is gorgeous. That scene with the car just swaying and you get that change in the colour grading, it's just phenomenal. And I'm still intrigued by the remake because I do really like Steven Soderbergh, love Steven Soderbergh as a director, but this is just another level for me. And Tarkovsky, he could be my favourite director on another day. I say Wes Anderson's my all-time favourite director, but if there's one director that be in the running for #1 favourite director of mine, it would be this guy, Andrei Tarkovsky. Solaris, 10 out of 10, wonderful, wonderful stuff. Then I went on a bit of a 2000s comedy kick, and that is something I'm definitely going to continue on with because it just so happens there's so many 2000s comedies I want to explore. I've had some cracking recommendations recently from my good buddy Ash at Popcorn and Horror. So yeah, some of those 2000s comedies I've bought on Ash's recommendations. So yeah, you'll see those in a future video. But I don't think Ash has seen this film. So Ash, definitely this one goes to you, mate. This is definitely one for you for sure. Whatever it takes. Never heard of this film until earlier in the year. Got this on a great kind of recommendation from this lady who works at this charity shop in Whitley Bay. She recommended me this film. I bought the Blu-ray and really glad I did. Really enjoyed this film. Good kind of kind of friendship between James Franco and the guy, what's his name? Is it someone Lewis? He was in the film A Walk to Remember. Hang on, folks. Have I got the DVD here? Shane West. So Shane West and James Franco, and they've got a bit of they're kind of on really good terms, like as good buddies. But you see, one character wants to be with this lady, this other character, he wants to be with this lady, and they kind of give each other like good advice. They make a deal that they'll help each other, like they make a deal like, right, so Shane West wants to be with this lady, so James Franco sends out some advice there, and Shane West knows James Franco wants to be with this lady, so Shane West is going to give him some advice. And yeah, really enjoyable, fun, self-aware, knows what it is, 2000s comedy. My favourite scene in this film was when Shane West, or I think it was James Franco, wanted to, was like on the stage. There's like this theatre stage play, this setup, and he's basically just talking to this lady, like this lass, how he really feels about this lady and in this film. And yeah, and it kind of pays off when he gets some really good like advice there from Shane West. And yeah, I really, that's probably my favourite scene of the movie. You had a young Aaron Paul in there as well, him and his friends that are always, and you see them like spend time on this computer. And the prom night scene's really good fun. I just love like a film with like a prom night set into it. A good example with this would be the film Never Been Kissed, starring Drew Barrymore. So yeah, a decent fun time, this one. And yeah, I definitely would watch this one again. Ollie, if you've not seen this film as well, definitely one for you as well, pal. Really enjoy this one. So yeah, whatever it takes, I'm going to give a 7 out of 10 there. Are you ready for this? This is gonna be a hot take, and I'm very nervous to talk about this next film. Fantastic Planet. This was a first time watch. And whilst I respect it, something eccentric, something different, a different take on an animated film. And I think Roy absolutely loves this film. So Roy, I owe you an apology here, bud, because I did not like this film. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, my God. My God, I just didn't enjoy this film. There was no story to it. It didn't have to be necessarily to be entertained, but I was just so bored. So bored. I was so numb, flat, watching this film. I just found it just, again, the whole thing with this tribe and these characters, like this blue characters, and just the way they've got their fingerprints, and they've got their like their strings attached around, again, these characters, and they're kind of wanting to look after these characters, perform the experiment. I'm all for an art house film, right? But it went a bit too eccentric. I didn't really care for what was going on. These characters that just, they're kind of like part of this experiment. But the whole like rivalry with this tribe, it was just not interesting. I felt nothing. My dad as well, me and my dad, we said to each other, Dad, what is this? Am I the only one that's not enjoying this? And my dad felt the same as well. Different strokes for different folks. Variety's the spice of life, I guess. But this film was just not for me. And it's only my opinion. I respect it and I admire it. And I get it's a well-beloved film. It's just not for me personally, guys. And wouldn't it be such a boring, dull world if everyone liked the exact same things? It would, wouldn't it? So I'm not against giving it another viewing, but I think I can wait, to be honest. So, Fantastic Planet, I'm going to give, I'm really sorry to do this, but 5 out of 10. Man, yeah. Wasn't for me, that one. Sorry, guys. Probably going to definitely get ridiculed in the comments for that. No doubt, lol. But yeah, that's just my opinion, guys. But I'm really happy for the people that do really love this film. This film, however, is a million times better in my opinion. And so far, my favourite movie of the year. I know Jamie Powell absolutely loves this film. I think Lisa, she really enjoys this film as well. There's been a lot of people have been super highly impressed with this film, and I can totally see why. And that is Project Hail Mary. What a fantastic film this was. Wow. Just wow. Wow. This was just amazing, guys. This blew me away. Wow. Like, I thought it was going to be good. I thought it was going to be really good, but not this good. It was just bloody unbelievable. Like, this was so fascinating to watch. Like, Ryan Gosling, where he's up for a challenge, but he feels this challenge is to an upper extreme. He's, you know, pushed and pushed into this thing that he doesn't want to do. Sandra Hüller is really just determined. He is the one to save the quarter of the population, to save the stars, to be the one to make the real sheer difference. And they think he's the one to do this. And he doesn't believe in himself enough to the point to do this, but Sandra Hüller and everyone around him thinks, yeah, we think he's the one to do this. And you just follow flashbacks on the build up to that, but then you follow him on the space mission. You see his friendship with Rocky the creature. I'd love one of these in my life. And there was just some great, like off the wall chemistry. They bounced off each other really well, and it was just such a beautiful story. The space station, the ship, and the choreography, the movements with the space station, the visionary side and the color grading was pin sharp. There was aspects that reminded me of 2001 in this. Not as good as 2001 in my opinion, but it's still really fucking good at the same time as that. And yeah, Ryan Gosling, one of his best performances in here, as a leading actor. And I think the soundtrack could have been better. I'll say that, but that's my only nitpick there. Everything that puts into this film is just heart and soul achievement here. Project Hail Mary was a fantastic movie, and I so wished me and my dad went to see this film instead of Fantastic Planet. I do think it caught me on the wrong day, but guys, if you haven't seen this film and you love The Martian 2001, do yourselves a favour, get involved here and check this movie out. It will most definitely be ranking highly in my end of year film list. And it's one of the best sci-fi films of the 21st century. Yep, I would even go with that. Beautiful movie and very interesting story. Feel-good ending as well. Yeah. Project Hail Mary, I'm going to give a 9 out of 10. I watched the new Glenn Powell film, How to Make a Killing, and yeah, this has been marked down as the remake of Kind Hearts and Coronets, and not seen that film yet. Probably should have checked that out first, but before this. And yeah, this was not too bad actually. Yeah, I quite enjoyed this. Probably a one-time watch for me. I don't feel like I need to see this film again, but overall, it was highly enjoyable. Glenn Powell, you follow her. Not a really spoiler to say, like, he's at prison at the start, and you learn to why he's in prison, and you learn of all these anonymous killings that's set afoot, and it's led by Glenn Powell, but he's trying to keep things at a lower profile, a hidden identity. He's just strikes up a deal with that lass in there, that lady who's fucking beautiful in this. She's a bit of an arsehole, her character is, but she is beautiful in this film. But yeah, not a very likable character. But they kind of have on and off conversations in regards to this, and he's trying to still keep his identity secure, and his like a business and his point of work still very much smooth sailing. And you're waiting for one character to find out the real truth. The FBI has got their suspicions, and he's wanting a slice of the big time. He's wanting to kind of inheritance in this new, like in this big house as well, that inheritance. And it's just, yeah, a quite an interesting film. And I did find, again, some of the flashbacks quite interesting. Again, it's got a bit of a family dynamic to this one. I did love the New York setting, this one, the setting around like Wall Street as well. So decent stuff. That song at the end's got on my wick though, I've got to say. But overall, decent movie. One and done watch, but I quite enjoyed it. And Glenn Powell was very good in this film as well. So How to Make a Killing, I'm going to give a 6 out of 10. Okay, and I watched the film with Jennifer Aniston called Picture Perfect. A cheesy 90s rom-com here that I am a bit of a sucker for. And yeah, this does what it says on the tin. It's pretty generic, but just a easy watch, and it's kind of a film that I liked, and I think again it's definitely enjoyable enough, I would say. It does what it says on the tin, and it does its job as a easy watching 6 out of 10 sort of easy-going rom-com, this one. Jennifer Aniston, who plays this lady who's basically going up for like this executive position, and basically in order to kind of get this like promotion, she decides to pretend to be married to, I think, this salesman, this guy, in order to like impress like her boss. And her boss kind of finds out, like, slowly is becoming a bit aware of Jennifer Aniston and if she's lying or not. But then you see, I think her boss, I think played by Kevin Bacon, is starting to kind of have a thing for her. And I think the guy is called Nick, I think it is. I think there's Nick, and I think there's the guy Sam in this film as well. So Jennifer Aniston spent time with Nick and spent time with Sam, and when Sam is going to learn about, like, is she, like, really wanting to, like, marry Nick here? And is she really going to get a slice of the big time with this promotion and this and up for this position as this executive? The chaotic scene at the restaurant and the scene by, again, like, I really like kind of the wedding reception scene as well at the start of the film. And yeah, quite an easy ride of a movie, this one. Picture Perfect, I'm going to give a 6 out of 10 there. A very solid newer vampire movie that came out, I think, was it about 2022, 2023 time, or 2024, sorry. And that is Abigail. Yeah, this was so cool. A really original, interesting take on the vampire subgenre. Again, that's got a bit of a slice of this criminal underworld that's thrown into the picture here. And these criminals are about to learn the real truth of this vampire, Abigail, who seems very shy and quiet at first, but then they learn the real truth about Abigail and what she's capable of, and there is about to be shit hit the fan big style. Good set pieces to this one. Loved the scenes with the symphony music, the record playing, and that build up. Like some very funny scenes as well, especially that guy who just runs up the stairs and he screams, oh, oh my God. He tries to like basically kick down this door and he says, oh shit, I think the door is locked. Oh, yeah, there's some witty, cheesy dialogue in there. Dan Stevens is a little bit of an arsehole in this film, but some of the shit he comes out with, you kind of are entertained by his character at the same time as that. So, yeah, Abigail, I'm going to give an 8 out of 10 there. Then, yeah, this is where I started to get into 2000s comedy mode, and yeah, I had such a good day that Friday and I decided to chuck on a 2000s comedy. It was on Netflix. I don't think it's as easy to track down on physical media, so checked it out on Netflix first. And I decided to watch, I think Andy, Kenny, Ollie have talked about this one in the live stream before, and I watched Saving Silverman, and yeah, I quite enjoyed this one, to be fair. Again, very self-aware, it knows what it is, it does what it says on the tin, where these group of lifelong friends that are wanting to save their best friend, Jim from American Pie, Jason Biggs, I think it is, Jack Black and Steve Zahn, who are great together in this film, got really good chemistry. They're all Neil Diamond's fanatics in this Neil Diamond tribute band as well, which does remind me, actually, I do need to check out that film Sung Blue at some point. But yeah, like Amanda Peet, who plays a bit of an arsehole in this. She's a bit of a narcissist. She's not a very likable character in the slightest, and you see how she's affecting, again, Jim from American Pie in this, Jason Biggs, and how he's spending time away from his two best friends, but his two best friends are wanting to get their revenge in order to get their best friends back in their Neil Diamond's band back on track as well. And you do get an appearance from Neil Diamond in this film, funny enough. There is just so many funny scenes, guys. Oh my God, that scene with the raccoon with Steve Zahn. Oh my God, it is funny. And yeah, just, there's some funny scenes again when Jack Black is easily fooled by Amanda Peet, when he just basically, he kind of is getting like therapy, but then he kind of really just the way he's easily influenced, but then it's kind of Amanda Peet's way to trick him. The scene again when I think he's on the Jason Biggs is kind of, I think it's like, I think on the dance floor, and again Steve Zahn as well, that again I think, because you see how he's giving him instructions, and just when he's following these instructions, it goes out of hand, and oh my God, that scene is so funny. But yeah, I did realize the chemistry between Jim from American Pie and that lady with the blonde hair in it. They had really good chemistry in this. So yeah, fun movie. That coach in it is so funny as well, man. So yeah, Saving Silverman, had a fun time with this, and thanks to Andy, Ollie and Kenny for putting me onto this one, because this was a fun watch. I'm going to give that one a 7 out of 10 there. Right, and then I went to Cineworld Newcastle with my very good friend Si to go and see Ferris Bueller's Day Off. This is definitely gotta be in my top 10 comedy films. There's just no denying it. It is just a great example of a very simplistic plot that is done brilliantly. A guy decides to pretend to be ill and skives off school for one whole day. And for one whole day, he doesn't want to get caught by the headmaster, Mr. Rooney. And yeah, it's a simplistic plot, but it just works. I love this film so much. It was great to finally see us on the big screen. I love the friendship between Ferris, his best friend, and that lady in there, Cameron, and that lady in there, and they just got great chemistry in this film. That assistant, she cracks me up at times. Basically, when she's just trying to tell the head teacher that it's not the guy that he thinks he is speaking to on the phone, it's actually, he's mistaken it for someone else, and Ferris Bueller's on the other line. It is just so funny, that dog who, oh my God, that dog who chases after Mr. Rooney, my God. It is just so funny. The scene with the red car heading into the tree, the parade scene with Tristan Shaw. It's just a quality time of a film, guys. And yeah, it doesn't take itself too seriously, so self-aware. And it knows what it is. It knows what it's doing. And yeah, just again, I think quite an original film for its time as well. And just John Hughes just brought a lot of magic to these like comedies and these coming of age movies as well. So yeah, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, I'm going to give an 8 out of 10. Oh, that scene with Cameron pretending to be that guy on the phone. The scene in the museum and the art gallery. Great film. Did I say 8 out of 10? Beg your pardon. 8.5 out of 10. I'm going to give it a first time watch of, again, we're going back into 2000s comedy mode now. And a film that Ash spoken really highly of. And I thought, do you know what? Yeah, I'm going to have some of that. I think I'm going to put that on one night because I was just in such a good mood. Had such a great weekend, and I was in the mood for a film like this, and that is the film Accepted. And this was so much fun, so much fun. This was so cool, really good fun. I was thinking Jonah Hill was actually the leading actor in there, but it was Justin Long, and Justin Long, I've got to say, guys, he did a very good job in this film. Like, he had 2 scenes where that could have been his best acting there. Like, he had 2 scenes of, like, you know, like, a monologue, a dialogue, and it was just great to watch. You know, about this, like, college students that set up their own college to impress their parents when they've had their applications rejected, but they're trying to keep this all a low profile, hidden from the law in the best way possible. And it was just a really cool film. Jonah Hill, again, had some comedy scenes in there. I liked the rivalry between Justin Long and that guy, that other guy who's a bit of an arsehole in there, and he's also got a thing for this lass in there who Justin Long has a bit of a love interest with her. And yeah, also that main guy in it as well, who pretends to, who in the role of a teacher. I'm pretty sure he was in Big Bang Theory, actually, one episode of Big Bang. And yeah, he was so funny in this. I think he was like, was he like a history or lecturer? And yeah, again, really good scene with like, I think there's this punk band. One scene where, again, there's like this prom night. I'm just a sucker for movies where they have a prom night involved. Very good film, and again, so self-aware, and it knows what it is. And good layout with this like college setting with like by the swimming pool, or again like the classrooms, and the way, fair play, the way the group of students have organised this college and that. Yeah, good film, that one. Accepted. I'm going to give a 7 out of 10. Then I went to Cineworld, back to Cineworld in Newcastle yet again, and I went to go and see The Good Boy. Wow, this was so cool, guys. Wow, this was, this was really cool. A film that I've got to say came out of nowhere. I didn't know this film was coming out. I didn't hear anything about it until my wonderful friends Jordan Movieware messaged me, Sam, look out for a film here called The Good Boy, starring Stephen Graham. It's a British flick. I think you're going to like here, bud. And sure enough, Jordan was right on this one. I thought it was just, again, very original with its premise. I just thought this dysfunctional family, or like kind of messed up family that are just, again, you've got Stephen Graham, who's very much like, he's a very kind of, he's like his own sort of boss, and he's his own like sort of like, he's like he's in his own command, and the way his style of like lecturing and like his way of doing things is just very chilled. But yet he's trying to bring out the good of this person that is going around and being a complete knobhead for no reason. And Stephen Graham just wants to bring out the good in this person, and he just goes, oh, he does everything in his power to make this person not do anything in harm's way ever again. Some things that caught me off guard where they went a little bit to the knuckle there. But yeah, I mean, again, I guess they were trying to make him not go into harm's way again. And that guy, who played that Yorkshire fella who's the antagonist in here, he is a bit of an arsehole, but you know what? His acting was so good in this film. I reckon this guy is going to be in a lot more things to come in the future. Andrea Riseborough, who again is very paranoid, and she's got a whirlpool of emotions going on, and she's quite distressed, and but again she's really wanting to see the good in this guy who is just being an absolute twat arsehole to the world, but they want to make him a better person. They've got their son, that's his father, played by Stephen Graham, wants the best for him and to go on and achieve many great things in life. But that, yeah, I mean, there was one scene where involving smoking that really, I did not expect that, to be fair. I really liked how this film, where Kes, which is one of my favourite films of all time, Kes got a bit of love in there. And that ending could have left an open door to a potential sequel down the road. So The Good Boy, I thought, was a great time at the cinema. And Stephen Graham is such a great actor. And the films I haven't seen with Stephen Graham, I want to keep my eye out there, because everything I've seen Stephen Graham in, I just think has been either pretty good or really good. Like, this guy very rarely stars in any duds or complete cack. He's just an awesome actor. So The Good Boy, I'm going to give an 8 out of 10 there. Then I went to Star and Shadows Cinema to go and see a first time watch of Shirley Valentine. And yeah, this was such a sweet, charmful little film, this one, where we're just following, is it Pauline Collins' character, Shirley Valentine, who you see her like breaking the fourth wall for the near of the entire film, where I think they made a little bit of a pun in there where she's talking to a wall, but she'll be talking to the audience near throughout, tell her backstory when she's growing up in Northern England, and one day out of the blue, her and her best friend decide to go on a ladies' getaway to like Greece to each get away from their husbands. And yeah, they go on a holiday to Greece, and there were times where the audience was howling, and there were times where I was chuckling as well. My God, Shirley's husband, I was just very temperamental about a meal that he wanted on a Pacific day, but it was this day. And again, there's the boat scene in the film. Yeah, the boat scene. And the guy who runs the restaurant, oh my God, he was coming out with some funny things in this. And yeah, and then one scene where she just loses her shit in this restaurant. It is a real charmful film, this one, guys. And a good ending, actually. So, Shirley Valentine, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 there. I went to the Market Pavilion to go and see, today, as I'm recording this, on Tuesday, the 31st of March. And yeah, love the Market Pavilion. It is become my favourite place in Blythe now. And definitely one of my favourite cinemas now. Absolutely. Had a really good chat with the staff there. Great staff, and just a really cool cinema. Very cosy seats in there as well. And it's been open for, I think it's coming up to 8 months or something now. So yeah, been really good to have this new cinema in Blythe. And I went to go and see Ready or Not 2, Here I Come. Quite good, you know, obviously follow up to the original. I haven't got round to watching the original as of yet, but did book my ticket to see this. And yeah, it was good fun. Probably a one and done watch for me. Admittedly, I just don't feel like I need to watch this film again now, but I did enjoy it. I thought Samara Weaving stole the show front, left, right and centre. Yeah, she was definitely the heart and soul of this movie, but I thought Catherine Newton did a really good job in this film, and Elijah Wood, did a good job in it. I didn't think his character was all that to write home about. Admittedly, his character was a little bit paper thin, didn't really do a great deal. That was like, wow, I'm really liking what this character's doing right here. Yeah, there wasn't anything that really kind of wowed me about his character, or he did anything out of the ordinary. Great to have a cameo appearance from David Cronenberg. It was helpful for it to kind of have highlights and take recognition of the original. Takes place, I'm assuming the opening scene, it takes place from the events of how the original ended. And yeah, where shit hits the fan, and both the main sisters in there have got a basically it's just like a life or death situation, a battle for survival, and they're rivaling against like these group of 4 families, these 4 families that are there for like kind of the running for the high seats part of the council, and there's like this satanic cult involved. And yeah, really kind of, it's like kind of a bit of a fun and games theme going on, run out, but it done in a very gruesome and blood splatter sort of fashion. And yeah, some brutal, gruesome kills in there. God, this was very stomach churning stuff. One scene, I think, involving like a blade, and my God, where you see how that character handles that blade. Oh my god, it is a bit of an eye-opener, that scene. And yeah, just again, one intense scene like across like this golf course as well. Yeah, like one quite surprising scene like by like this washing machine. And yeah, it's a pretty fun watch. I don't know if they're going to do a third film after this, but it did leave a bit of an open door to that. And again, it had like, yeah, it kind of did remind me a little bit of Scream 5, where the two sisters are reunited after like a number of years. So yeah, I did quite enjoy this one. And I was gonna just thinking what else. Oh, there was one character actually that was watching like these characters like on CTV, and he was coming out with some quirky dialogue. He was quite a like comical character in there, and yeah, a lot of the acting was very solid on this one as well. So Ready or Not 2, a one and done watch, but an entertaining film all round. And I do need to still check out the original at some point. So yeah, I'm going to give that one a 7 out of 10. Ending this video with a film that, again, fits the bracket of my 2000s comedy binge that I've been on recently. And that is Waiting, starring Ryan Reynolds. And oh, guys, this was awesome indie like comedy film, and yeah, just a really fun, self-aware movie, like a very simplistic plot surrounding like this diner and a group of characters that are like about like kind of waiting and like customer service. And yeah, pretty enjoyable film, this one. Louis Guzman, who's in everything, and the guy I forget his name, but he played, was it Todd's in The Office US, and he was in Anchorman, that same guy. Oh man, he had me in stitches at times. He was just so funny, like just constantly telling these guys, come on, get back to work. It was so funny, and just one scene where they're just rooting this guy on, and it's just so bizarre. The steak dinner scene, once you've seen that, you'll never forget it. The scene with the steak, not as grim as how the meal turned out to be in the original Road Trip, but yeah, it's still, yeah, it's pretty eccentric what goes on with that meal, to say the least. But that customer in the film, I've got to say, that customer was a bit of an arsehole, to be fair. But yeah, her reaction was priceless. But yeah, Ryan Reynolds does a decent job in this film. Justin Long has an interesting side story in there. And yeah, you do see like a couple of like the staff members, how they're recruited in this new role and stuff. And yeah, it's interesting to learn from, you know, kind of the waiter's point of view, you know, like you learn from like the bar staff, the kitchen staff. You kind of, all bases you focus on like each of these characters. There's an interesting, cool hangout at this house party in there. Yeah, really enjoyed this one. Yeah, Waiting, and I've been recommended the sequel, actually still waiting, so I'll give that one a watch at some point. I'm going to give Waiting a 7 out of 10 there. So yeah, guys, that is all the movies I have watched in the month of March 2026. And I've got to say, guys, this was a smashing month for checking out new movies, movies for the first time, or revisits, cinema trips, you name it. Yeah, been a cracking month for like movie watching, and really looking forward to seeing what is in store and what's on the horizon for April 2026. So yeah, guys, do let me know your thoughts on any of these movies I talked about here today on the channel. And do let me know some of the best movies you've watched in the month of March 2026, so we can continue the discussion there. And I hope everyone is doing wonderfully well, and I'll be back for more content soon there. So thanks for watching. Cheers for stopping by. And until next time, I'll see you for the next video. Bye-bye. Take care, guys. Thank you so much.
It's Ollie and Sammy G in the house, talking shit, watching flicks. Sam can't sing, but he is nearly good at it. Ollie.
Arlie does the dancing, Sam is entrancing. Sam has added another one to the collection today. In conclusion, today has been a great day.